Hi guys, I'm Linda.
I'm Vicki.
And we are
Partners in Crime.
Soon to be True Crime Taverns. We're thinking about changing the name. So let us know what you think. I know people have seen our sign back there and we're considering maybe changing it up for you. So like I said, let us know what you think.
Right, and keep a lookout and make sure you click on the little bell when you subscribe, because then you'll get notified of our new content.
Yes, yes. So today we are going to discuss the Morphew case. And there are some updates. Barry has been charged with new charges, so I just wanted to go over some of that information. One thing that I found was interesting, they said Suzanne might have died on May 9th. We always thought it was like Mother's Day.
Actually, Mother's Day.
Yeah, but it could have been May 9th, they're saying. So the new charges are tampering with the body, possession of a dangerous weapon, and that was described as a short rifle. The charges we already knew about were tampering with physical evidence and an attempt to influence a public servant. In these new charges, though, at the top, it's not really a charge, but it's listed as domestic abuse. There's a line item saying domestic abuse, so we're not quite sure what that means, but could it be, we're not lawyers. We don't know when these filings are made what they actually mean, but could it have been that there has been domestic abuse allegations or charges before? I think we would have known that at this point. But
I think I heard one of the other YouTube crime reporters discuss that was an oversight, that it was added lately to the charges.
Okay. He also got charged, and this is just, well, I think we're all like, okay, wow, that's not a surprise. He cast an absentee ballot for Donald Trump in his wife's name in the 2020 election. So he got forgery and ballot fraud charges added on as well. Would you put it past him? I guess we all wouldn't.
He said he didn't know he couldn't do that.
Okay.
Does he know he can't kill his wife either?
Well, and okay, I'm sorry. I didn't go to law school. I, am just a regular citizen. Anybody should know they can't vote for someone else. I mean, you have to go show ID. There's just so much that has to go on. Why would you ever think that you could vote for someone else? I just think that's ludicrous. But
I don't know.
the new charges allege that between May 9th and 10th, Morphew unlawfully and feloniously, willfully destroyed, mutilated, concealed, removed, or altered a human body, part of a human body, or human remains with intent to impair its or their appearance or availability before investigators recovered them. So that's a mouthful. They did have on, I think it was Fox News, I saw that Sister Melinda Mormon talked to CBS 4 in Denver. And she said financial pressure bears in on people very heavily. It creates an atmosphere of discontent and strife, and sometimes living beyond your means is a very hard thing to do. Learning to be content with what you have is a very powerful thing in this life, and it brings great peace. And I don't think Barry and Suzanne had gotten there yet. So she was basically saying that she thinks a lot of the problems might have been financial, and that could have led to this happening. Melinda did credit her faith with helping her forgive Barry for the emotional toll it took on the family. And then Barry's attorneys are Iris Eaton and she caught national attention representing Tom Fallis, who was charged with murder of his wife, but he was wrongly charged. He did not murder his wife, so she got those charges dropped. And then her associate is Drew Nielsen, and she's the other attorney that will be representing Barry.
Right, and apparently
So-
they're renowned for
Yes.
their,
Especially in Colorado.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Top attorneys in Colorado. So,
So I would be pretty safe to say that they're not doing this for free.
no.
So,
But Barry, if he got the insurance money and he sold those houses, so he probably has enough at this point
yep,
to retain them for a little bit anyway.
right.
But that's all. That's the only update that I had on
The
Barry.
morphine. Yeah. The only other thing that, and I don't have a lot of information, but Suzanne's stepbrother, his name is Thomas Owen, has been making the rounds with different YouTube crime folks.
Mm-hmm.
And he met with Chris McDonough, and I believe that's the interview room, and Profiling Evil with Mike. I don't know Mike's last name.
Yeah. Sorry.
But he's going around talking, and he was very close, it seems, to Suzanne. So he's talking about all aspects of her life and her life with Barry. So, I mean, it might be interesting to listen to them and hear what he has to say. I don't think he has any insight on the actual crime that was committed. He's just giving his, it's cathartic to talk about his sister.
Yeah, and just being around. I mean, when you are around your sibling, step-sibling, whatever it may be, and you're at family functions and their spouse is there, you kind of get an idea as to how they're being treated or how that dynamic works.
Right. I haven't heard anything about Suzanne's brother, who...
Andy,
he was so involved in her, not her disappearance, but looking for her.
Yeah.
And lately, it's kind of been under the radar. I haven't heard anything about him.
I don't know. And maybe it's just all come to a head, and he's done so much to try to find her. He could be just stepping back because he has to process it all too.
Right. That's true.
You just don't know. But we just feel so much for the Mormon family, and it's so sad because her father passed away last year, the end of last year, so he didn't even see
that the charges were brought against Barry.
Yeah.
I wonder how they...
And to date, they haven't found her body yet, too, so...
Yeah, which makes me question how they know the information that they're giving
out. That he was mutilating, all of that, yeah. How do they know?
And that he used a shotgun, and...
Yeah.
I wish they would... Well, they're going to unseal some information.
The 27th, they could unseal the charges, so we will give you an update with that once they do, because I believe it's May 27th they said that they were going to discuss that. So hopefully they'll be allowed to unseal them, and we'll know exactly what they have and how they brought these charges.
Right, we'll have to be more clear on that. If they are going, well, they have to give the evidence to the defending attorneys.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
it'll be out there.
I mean, we know what the charges are, but with the nitty-gritty details, we don't know, and that's what we're trying to find out.
How did they know? I mean, he's not telling them unless...
Right.
There was somebody who, there's conspiracy to influence a public official. We don't know who that public official is.
Well, I think I did see something online. There's a number of people. I saw something, and I'm sorry I don't have that in front of me, but I did see there were a number of people, like at least 5, officials that they named, actually.
Okay.
So, yeah, there was more than one person that he was trying to influence.
Did they say how he was trying to
No,
influence
they
him?
didn't. They just said, and again, that's probably in the charges.
Yeah, I wonder if
The details, so.
any information, those details that Linda just talked about came from them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know.
I don't know.
Don't know.
don't know,
it's
but-
interesting.
But yeah, it's great that someone has finally been charged with it. It's not great that it's Barry, because unfortunately their daughters have to live with knowing that even if they don't believe it, in the back of their mind, for their father to be charged with this, they have to be thinking, oh my gosh, what if he did do it?
I always think about the families. It's just such a shame.
Yeah.
When there's children. Well, not that they're little children.
No,
but
it doesn't matter. It could be now. If my dad isn't around anymore, but if I had my father killed my mother, I would definitely, even if I wasn't a grandmother, I would still
yeah, you're
have a hard
affected.
time
You're definitely
with it,
affected.
because this is your blood, and how can they do this to?
Right, your protector, the head of the family, and he
Yeah.
pretty much seemed to be the head of the family and everything we hear about him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just so sad.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
sad. And the courts are
Very
trying
sad.
to protect them
Right.
the best way they can by not making them so public or access to the public.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
And you wonder where the girls are now. From things that we've seen online, I don't believe that they've had contact with the Mormon family, and I would hope that there's a bridge that they can finally come together at some point, because I'm sure that is also weighing heavy on the Mormons as well, because these two girls are all they have of their sister, and not to be able to talk to them. And
right. Well, it could be because the Mormon family was so outspoken against their father.
Right. And he was there with them, so I'm sure that factored into that.
Right. So maybe at some point when they hear more information about what happened, they'll be more sympathetic to the Mormon family.
I would hope so.
So I hope so too.
Yeah. Well, and he's not with them now. He's in jail. So
Yeah, I wonder where he's
that
staying.
will help, I think, if they need to talk to a therapist and they don't have this person in their environment anymore, that they can kind of see things differently and
Where is their environment?
don't feel
I don't
pressure.
think anyone's allowed to be in that house, are they?
No, the house was sold.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So
So I wonder where they're staying, who they're with.
yeah,
Could
maybe
be friends.
Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. I believe that they were. Suzanne was big in with her church, I believe. So maybe they are helping them.
Maybe.
It's so sad, because you know what? We only see what happened and the charges and we don't see the effects on the family, and that's the biggest thing that I think is missing when it comes to any of this true crime. You really, unless the family comes out and speaks about it, and
Right, and I think that's what this Thomas Owen, who's a stepbrother of Suzanne, is doing.
right.
He's coming out and speaking about Suzanne, and
What has he said about her?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't have that information.
Okay.
I just briefly read who he
Okay.
is, and I know that he's been interviewed by, like I said, Chris McDonough and Mike from Profiling Evil, and I'm yet to listen to that, but I'm going to. I want to hear what he has to say. I just know that in the summary, it says that that he's just talking about all aspects of her life. So I'm sure with that he's discussing about the impact
Yeah.
on the family as well.
Yeah.
So
Right. So that is all we have for the Morphews. And I did want to throw something in. Just wanted to show you my husband's book again that's being sold on Amazon. So please, if you decide that you might want some good crime novel, try this, check it out, read the description. It might be something that you want to read over the summer. It's a good novel to take to the beach.
It's a crime novel.
It is a crime novel. So, you know.
That's right in with what we like.
Husband, so quarter item in the wrong hands. And thanks for that.
Yes.
And I guess we'll say until next time.
Till next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye.